There's a casting myth in Hollywood so secret that you'd have to be a studio executive with a burner phone to find it out, and here I am giving it all away for free. That spark you see on screen, whether it's a magic or formula, once I explain it to you, you'll never look at movies the same way again. Ever wonder why some on-screen performances feel electric while others make you cringe? Well, as it's Valentine's week, I thought I'd do a deep dive into on-screen chemistry, and it's not what you think. While everyone's still obsessing over perfect movie romances, it's time to really look at what's behind the scenes. The $100 million casting secret that can make or break a box office hit. And it's not what you think. The high-stakes chemistry test, when actors first get to read with each other to see if there really is that magic ingredient, that chemistry. And here are 3 ways they can go about creating that chemistry. Maybe they have a real interest in working with the other actor and they are a great admirer of their work. Or maybe they can take themselves on a Jungian soul journey, an alternative soulmate journey to create that connection. Or maybe they can use Meisner techniques to establish a connection through dramatic exploration. These are all options that are open to an actor when they're faced with their chemistry test. But it does leave us wondering, when it's so authentic, when it gets to the real take, how far they've explored their chemistry and how it's developed, and if they have the time to develop into that role. Maybe it's the fact that the part is really made for them and it's just a case of the 2 people coming together at the right time. And there's the psychological blueprint, how audiences' brains are wired to believe in romantic chemistry or buddy chemistry. It's that ambience when you first sit down to watch a movie. It's that feeling you get when you first sit down to watch a movie, the opening scenes, how the premise is created, that makes you really want to root for the characters. And maybe there's a part of you that really wants them to fall in love, so it makes them much easier for the actors to make you believe in the chemistry between them because you're already rooting for them. The influence of casting directors, how this decision can generate millions or cost the entire movie. The stakes are high and the pressure is on, which is why a favourite romantic lead that already has an audience for that style of movie will often get cast in the same sort of things. For instance, take Leo Woodall, who has just done the Bridget Jones Mad About the Boy, and he had also appeared in One Day. So he's a perfect example of this. Screen chemistry is the casting code that studios guard like gold. The chemistry illusion, how micro expressions and body language, things that aren't in the script or the dialogue, can trick your brain into believing these characters are really in love. And it's all to do with reading body language, part of the brain that understands body language and sees what it expects. Therefore, it gives the impression that this is what the audience are anticipating, and it delivers. The perfect pair algorithm, while data is now currently driving the Hollywood pairing of on-screen chemistry, has a lot to do with how the algorithm reads the likelihood of a couple to fall in love. This is like sophisticated dating app technology, and it's possibly to do with compatibility, and it could create some really interesting new casting and some interesting off-screen relationships. And there's emotional engineering, how filmmaking 101 uses tension, timing and tropes to create chemistry that absolutely nails it. And that's through creating juxtaposition, playing with the themes and the blocking and the tension between the characters, raising the stakes or lowering the stakes, and playing one against the other. And that's all to do with filmmaking techniques, and that make you really believe that the character is placed in exactly the way you expect to see them in these circumstances. And sometimes it can work the opposite by placing them in the circumstances you don't expect to see the character in, and then seeing what they create from that. The casting myth worth millions, while casting chemistry is Hollywood's most valuable gamble. The formula for on-screen magic, while these three secret ingredients never fail, and they are connection, stakes, and tension, dramatic tension. And these all exist within different scenarios. I often think of it like the Cluedo game, where you have the location, in the kitchen with the two characters, Miss Scarlet and Professor Plum, and then you have the action or the motivation with the lead piping. And that's the basis of how screenwriting evolves. And of course, we have the casting gamble. While some actors are cast for their Instagram following, which can be a bit hit and miss, sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on the style of the influencer or actor. And in the case of Mad Men, where January Jones was a love interest, and she is a perfect example of this. And the stakes indeed are the box office effect, how chemistry can make audiences open their hearts and their wallets. So it's that important for casting and production to get the chemistry right. And that pairing is often to do with an ideal or an idealized pairing of a couple, what we anticipate seeing. And sometimes it's really great to see it mixed up as well. So do you prefer authenticity or a perceived romantic fairy tale, a romanticized fairy tale in reality? It's very interesting how audiences are now viewing things slightly differently. And the box office is feeling it, because the influence of A-listers is not as strong and is demonstrated in many journalistic articles and in the viewing figures. So it's a really interesting time to be casting. Screen chemistry, it's not just a formula, it's alchemy, a certain kind of magic. It's unpredictable, it's mysterious, and sometimes, no matter how hard Hollywood tries, it just won't spark. But the people who understand this alchemy shape entire careers, launch billion-dollar franchises, and leave audiences obsessed for decades. And maybe, just maybe, love really does conquer all. Because when that spark, that chemistry really does ignite, no camera trick can fake it. Want more behind the scenes magic? Subscribe, hit the bell, and stay close, because some secrets are too good to stay quiet.